After Welcome to Sastry Karra's astrological series. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the possibility of events for some Rashis from the natal moon position. The reason being is between 5th November and 26th December, there are some planets that are going, the transit planets are going to be co-joined with transit Saturn in Sagittarius. Exclusively on 24th, 25th or 26th of December, all these planets will be in Sagittarius. When I said these, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and of course Saturn and Ketu will be in Sagittarius, and Mars will be in Rashi Sandhi. So the most violent planet Mars being in Rashi Sandhi, that is something that is very important to keep in mind. And the Saturn and Sun co-joining, Saturn and Jupiter co-joining, and a transit Rahu having a direct aspect on Saturn. All these combinations are very crucial and they are unique, and one of the unique planets of our combination. So in this presentation, I'm going to explain what are the possibilities of events that can happen based upon the natal chart, natal moon position. Here you can see on 5th November 2019, transit Saturn, transit Jupiter, and transit Ketu will be in Sagittarius, and Sun is Nicha, debiliated in Libra, and Mercury and Venus are in Scorpio. And transit Rahu is having a direct aspect on both transit Saturn and transit Jupiter. This is on 5th November. Slowly, by moving after 20 days later, that is on 25th December 2019, you can see Sun, Jupiter, Moon, Saturn, Mercury, and Ketu. All of them are 5 planets and Ketu. 5 planets and Ketu are all going to be in Sagittarius, and they all are getting a direct aspect from transit Rahu. So that's a major event that is going to happen is between 5th November and 25th December. So in this presentation, I'm trying to analyze when the natal moon in different Rashis, what are the possible events that can happen in a particular natal's life. So let's start looking at the natal position of moon in all the 12 houses. If you look at it, if natal moon is in Aries or Mesha, then Sagittarius is the 9th house, so it's ignored. The second thing is if natal moon is in Taurus or Vrishabha, then Sagittarius is 8th house. That means it is a Ashtama Shani period. When during this Ashtama, if that is the case, then transit Saturn is the lord of the 9th and 10th houses from natal moon. Jupiter is the 8th and 11th houses from natal moon. 12th and 7th house, Mars is the lord of 12th and 7th houses from natal moon. Mercury is the 2nd and 5th house lord from natal moon. Venus is the 1st and the 6th house lord from natal moon, and Sun is the 4th house lord. So if you look at it, for those natals whose natal moon is in Taurus or Vrishabha at the birth, for them they are going through the Ashtama Shani period, and during this unique combination day, exclusively between 5th November 2019 till December 25th 2019, what they can see is how Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun impact their life. The most important planets that are very high possibility of impacting are the Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will have a minimal impact, and the impact is only because Sun has co-joined with Saturn in that particular house. Now, in the similar way, if you look at it for Midhuna Rasi, Sagittarius is the seventh house, which is the Marakasthanamu. For Kataka Rasi or Karnataka Cancer, Sun is in the sixth house, which is a Dushtana house. Then for Kanya or Virgo, Sun is in Saturn, Sagittarius is the fourth house. That means it is a artha-asthama Shani. For Scorpio, Sagittarius is the second house. So for those people whose natal moon is in Scorpio, Sagittarius is the second house. They are going to the Sadeshani, but that is the last phase of Sadeshani. And along with that, second house is the Marakasthanamu too. Then for those natives who have Sagittarius, who have natal moon in Sagittarius itself, are going to the second phase of Sadeshani. That is the second part, means the first 2.5 years is over, the second 2.5 years is running. And for those natives whose natal moon is in Capricorn or Makara, for them the Sadeshani has just begun when transit Saturn entered Sagittarius. So they are already going through those the impact of the Sadeshani. So this is how you can see the natal moon relationship with the Sagittarius and how it will have the impact on the native during these unique planetary combinations. For this presentation, I'm going to take one particular Rashi as an example and give more details about how to analyze the Rashi in general, and then give one or two examples of the natives so that you can understand the subject behind it, and at the same time you can understand how to analyze a particular person's chart with natal moon in Rishabha or Taurus during this period of November 5th 2019 till 26th of December 2019. Here you are seeing the Vrishabha Rasi. The moon, natal moon is in Taurus. That's the first house from Chandra Lagna. So in the second house is transit Rahu. These are all the transit planets that you are seeing now. Transit Rahu is in the second house on 5th November, all the way from 5th November till 26th November. Rahu will be still in Taurus, in the second house Gemini. So that tells you that with wherever Rahu is, it will create some sort of a disturbances in that particular house. Here you are seeing it in the second house from moon. So for any native whose natal moon is in Taurus, will see some sort of a disturbances pertaining to the second house due to transit Rahu. Second house deals with Dhanasthanamu and Kutumbasthanamu. So the disturbances might be something that dealing with wealth or money, some sort of a money dealings, or family environment, or with family members. Second house is Kutumbasthanama, means with family or family members. That's the transit Rahu's impact. Since transit Rahu is directly looking at the 8th house, if you look at it, on 5th November, it is looking at the 8th house lord Jupiter, the 9th and the 10th house lord Saturn. And 8th house lord is residing in the 8th house itself. So transit Rahu, because of transit Rahu's direct aspect on the 8th house, and that too in the Jupiter, what's highly possible is that something secrecy will be revealed by Rahu because of Jupiter residing in the 8th house. That's the first possibility. The second possibility is, depending upon the native's longevity, Vimsottari Dasa and other planetary positions, especially the natal 8th house lord, what you can see is that there is a possibility for some death-like situations arising starting 5th November and maybe all the way as long as Jupiter is in the 8th house and transit Rahu is looking at transit Jupiter. This possibility you have to look at it from a different perspective. And then transit Rahu is also looking at transit Saturn. They both are looking at each other for a long time. So there's nothing special, whatever the way the things are going before November 5th for the Ketu. When it comes to the 9th house, 10th house Lord Saturn, is the same thing is going, will keep on continuing. That means because of the transit Rahu's direct aspect on Saturn, and Saturn is the 9th and 10th house lords, mentally, for this particular natives, there will be some sort of a disturbances in 10th house his career, some sort of a disturbances in his or her career, and 9th house is Bhagyasthanamo, so some sort of a disturbances in pertaining to wealth. Already transit Rahu residing in the 2nd house is creating some sort of a chaos in Dhanasthanamo. Now looking at the transit Saturn, it is creating it is enhancing that chaos because Saturn owns Bhagyasthanamo. So this is what is happening since Rahu entered Gemini in March 2019 or March or April of 2019. That will be continued with transit Jupiter entering the 8th house. That particular chaos might result in the native's mind. This is from the natal moon, right? So from the native's mind to do some sort of a abnormal thoughts resulting into life-threatening situations. This is from from 5th November onwards. And when you jump to all the way to 24th, 25th or 26th of November, all the way there, and look at the planetary positions between 5th November and 25th November, what you can see slowly is that Sun is coming. Sun, which is a Nicha on 5th November, will be slowly moving to 7th and then comes and enters 8th house in 24th or 25th of December. So Saturn, Sun, Mercury, Moon and Jupiter all are residing in the 8th house. Natal Moon is in the Taurus and transit Moon is in the 8th house. Transit Rahu is looking at all these things. So speaking, those are the 3 days that the native's mind will be so much of chaotic due to, first of all, due to the Bhagyasthanamo, disturbances in Bhagyasthanamo and Dhanasthanamo, disturbances in the Kutumbasthanamo, which is the 4th, 2nd house, and from natal moon, Sun owns the 4th house, which is the family, home life environment, Sukhasthanamo, so that gets disturbed. And moon, from natal moon, Mars owns the 7th house and the 12th house. So 7th house is Kalatrasthanamo and 12th house is unexpected expenditures or hospitalizations. So all these things will be resulting, because of all these planets, something life-threatening situation will be resulting to the native on 24th, 25th or 26th of December 2019. And since Mars is in the transit, Mars is in the 6th house, which is the Rogasthanamo, and looking directly at the 12th house, its own house, these life-threatening situations might result the native to be hospitalized. 12th house is hospitalizations or place of cure. Place of cure is hospitalizations or create some sort of unexpected expenditures. And it might even, there is even a possibility for the natives to cease to exist. That means the native may die too. But that far I'm not going to go. I would like to see the individually, case by case, the natives, Vimshottari Dasa, Antardasas, Mahadasas, Antardasa, Pratyantardasa, and even go deep into Sukshmantardasa before saying what will happen to the natives' longevity. In the next step, what I'm going to do is to take the same planets, transit planets, and then see how their aspects are going on. Here what I'm trying to do is to because the Ketu is going through the Ashtama Shani period, I had emphasized more on Saturn and then looked at the aspects of Saturn specifically. Transit Saturn's third aspect is on the 10th house, its own house. Remember, I told you that there will be some sort of a disturbances in the Ketu's career. This is because of that, the 10th house, because Saturn not only owns the 9th and 10th house, it also is looking at the 10th house. So these disturbances can be good or bad depending upon the individual, how the Saturn, natal Saturn, which houses the natal Saturn owns, and also whether what type of Absotari Dasa is the natal Saturn's Mahadasa running or something else Mahadasa is running. So in general, Saturn is having the third aspect on the 10th house, which deals with career. Saturn's 7th aspect is the direct aspect on the 2nd house, where natal transit Rahu is residing. And I already told you that Rahu and Saturn's direct aspects always create some sort of a chaos, disturbances, and unexpected events to happen. And Saturn's 10th aspect, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th aspect is on the 5th house. 5th house is Putrasthanamo and father. Here, since Saturn's 7th aspect and 10th aspect are both on the house owned by Mercury, and Mercury is co-joined with Saturn in the 8th house. Remember, there's a BSP rule that says that wherever Saturn sits, he shouts that he's the emperor of that house. So Mercury, Sun, Jupiter, and Moon, they all are now worthless, since Saturn is ruling the 8th house Sagittarius from natal Moon, and Mercury, who is the 2nd and 5th house lord, couldn't do anything. He became malefic too, and the Sun, the 4th house lord, became malefic too, and Jupiter, the 8th house lord, who is the functional malefic, became more amplified, and because it has co-joined with the natural malefic Saturn. So if you look at Jupiter now, transit Jupiter's 5th aspect, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Transit Jupiter, who is also the lord of the 8th house from natal Moon, residing in the 8th house, is looking at 5th aspect is on the 12th house. 12th house is a place of cure or hospitalization. Mars owns the house. Transit Mars is directly residing in the 6th house, Rogasthanam, and looking at the 12th house. Now transit Jupiter is looking at 5th aspect, is looking at the 12th house. So as I said earlier, the particular Ketu, will be some sort of a unexpected life-threatening situations due to illness, or because it is Mars, due to some sort of a violent accident, like something like that might result the Ketu to be hospitalized. And Jupiter's direct aspect is on the 7th house, where transit Rahu is residing, 2nd house, 7. And also, if you look at it, Jupiter's 9th aspect is on the house owned by Sun, that is the 4th house from natal Moon, and Sun already got afflicted because it's co-joined, it's in the 8th house, first of all, co-joined with the 8th house lord Jupiter, and also co-joined with transit Saturn. So even the Jupiter also is not doing anything good for this particular Ketu, exclusively on 24th, 25th and 26th of December 2019. Now let me start. This is the first example of with natal Moon in Vrishabha Rasi. This is my own chart. Here, if you look at it, the transit Saturn is in Sagittarius. That means I'm going through the Ashtama Shani period, that is since 2017 November or December of 2017 onwards. And when you look at it, transit Saturn's third aspect is on the 10th house from natal Moon, 2nd house from natal Moon, and 5th house from natal Moon. This is the Ashtama Shani currently going on through. And now, after checking it out, before I go and look at the impact specifically between November 5th and 26th of December 2019, just I want to look at the natal chart and the Vimsottari Dasa first. And what you can see here is that for me, the Saturn Mahadasa, Jupiter Antardasa, and Saturn Pratyantara Dasa is running all the way till 23rd December, now January 2020. That means during this crucial period, the 6th and 7th, the 5th and 6th house Lord Saturn, natal Saturn is the 5th and 6th house Lord, and transit Saturn is in the 8th house from natal moon. So transit Saturn Mahadasa is running, the Marakasta, natural Marakas Mahadasa is running, the 8th house Lord from natal moon is Jupiter, and the transit Jupiter is going to co-join with natal transit Saturn in somewhere from 5th November onwards. So the 8th house Lord is co-joining with the natural Maraka, and that is the Antardasa that is running. And then the Pratyantara Dasa is the Saturn Pratyantara Dasa. So as I said earlier, the first and the foremost thing what one has to look at this particular my chart exclusively is that the Vimsottari Dasa is the Maraka planets Mahadasa, Saturn's Mahadasa. 8th house Jupiter, from transit Jupiter is in the 8th house, Lord is in the 8th house, that's the Antardasa, and again Saturn's Pratyantara Dasa. And if you look at it, Rahu, the 2nd house, is also Marakasthanamu from natal moon, and transit Rahu is already in the 2nd house from natal moon. So Rahu is the terminator and having a direct aspect with transit Saturn and transit Jupiter. So just by looking at this, the planetary positions, there is a life-threatening situation for me on or before January 23, 2020. Now let me go, this is the general side. Now let me go and superimpose the 5th, the transit planets positions on 25th or 26th of December, and then tell you, see how the prediction goes by. Now let's go and look at my chart exclusively during the period of December 24th, 25th and 26th of 2019. During those 4 days, transit Sun, transit Jupiter, transit Moon, transit Saturn and transit Mercury are all going to be in the 8th house from my natal moon, and transit Rahu is in the 2nd house from my natal moon. So all these planets are in the 8th house. I am going to the Ashtama Shani, and just to recoup the earlier slide, it is the Saturn Mahadasa, Jupiter Antardasa and Saturn Pratyantara Dasa. Saturn Pratyantara Dasa ends on 23rd January 2020. So because of all these planets residing in the 8th house, and I am going to the Ashtama Shani, there's a life-threatening situation, possibility for a very extremely life-threatening situation during this period, exclusively give a take of plus or minus 2 days between 24th, okay, I will say this way, between 22nd of December all the way till 31st of December. I'm just giving a plus or minus 2 days. So those are the 1 week. This is the 1 week where there is a high possibility for some sort of a life-threatening situation based upon my natal chart and the transit planets. So let's go a little bit deeper to see when could that possibility be. That means you have to go into Sukshmantara Dasa, and the Sukshmantara Dasa for Sun starts on 11th November and goes till 23rd November. Sun is in my natal Sun is co-joined with natal Moon in the 9th house from Rashi Lagna. So the Sun is, and here from natal Moon transit Sun owns the 4th house, and that's fine. But from Rashi Lagna, natal Sun owns the 12th house. 12th house is the place of cure or foreign settlement. So, and it is in the 8th house right now. So place of cure and the 8th house they both match. So something something related to the place of cure, a life-threatening situation or similar to that, which might result into a temporary place of stay in the place of cure, is possible between 16th November till 23rd November. Then comes the moon. The moon period is perfectly fine. because it's Ashtama Shani, and some mental stress and uh, mental stress is very highly possible during that period. Then comes Mars. Mars is in the natal from transit. Mars is in the 6th house from natal moon and directly looking at its own house, the 12th house. So that another results to the possibility of having some sort of a what do you call uh, deaths or illnesses resulting into if it is illnesses, then results into hospitalization. If it is some sort of a debt, then it results into unexpected expenditures. So we got to see what exactly might happen during the Mars Pratyant Sukshmantra Dasa, which is 5th December till 13th December. Then comes the most difficult part is the Rahu. From 13th December all the way till 4th January. That is the period when transit Rahu is being in the 2nd house and co-joined with Venus. If you look at Venus, natal Venus is the 2nd house lord from Rashi Lagna, and from Chandra Lagna, Venus, natal Venus is residing in the 2nd house. Transit Rahu is co-joined, natal Rahu and transit Rahu are both co-joined with natal Venus, which is in the 2nd house, and they are natal Venus is getting a direct aspect from to that 8th house, where you see the Jupiter, the 8th house lord Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, Moon and Mercury are all going to be there. So this is the most complex and difficult period for me, and that is between 13th December till 4th of January. Then comes the Jupiter Sukshmantra Dasa, which is from 4th January till 23rd January. So whatever happens, any life-threatening situation or the end of my life, anything, whatever happens, there's a high possibility for that to happen between 13th December till 4th January, which is during the Christmas period. That's exactly when all these major planets are going to stay in the 8th house from my natal moon, which is the Ashtama Shani. Saturn is in the 8th house. 8th house lord Jupiter will be in the 8th house. 4th house lord Sun will be in the 8th house. Moon will be in the 8th house. Second house lord Mercury will be in the 8th house, and transit Rahu will be in the 2nd house from natal moon, and it transit Rahu co-joined with natal Rahu and the Lagnadhipati, not the Lagnadhipati, the 2nd house lord Venus, natal Venus. So this is how you have to see that compare the natal chart with the transit or superimpose the natal chart with the transit planets on this specific 4 days of the period, and see what is the possibility. And once you see the possibility, you go to the Vimsottari Dasa and try to go all the way to Sukshmantra Dasa, or actually I can go more in detail to that is the Rahu period from 13th December till 2020 January 4th, and see more in detail to see what exactly is going to happen. Here is the second example that I am going to discuss for the same Vrishabha Rasi. Natal moon is in Vrishabha Rasi, and this is the natal chart, birth chart of the famous Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan. If you look at his birth chart, natal moon is in Vrishabha Taurus, co-joined with natal Rahu, and they all are looking at the 7th house. Both moon and Rahu is looking at the 7th house, which is Scorpio. So from natal moon, the 8th house is Sagittarius. That's exactly where the transit Saturn is residing since 2017 November or December. So just like my chart, his chart is also going through the Ashtama Shani period. And to add further, the reason I took Shah Rukh Khan's chart exclusive is because just like my chart, he is also going to the Saturn Mahadasa. If you look at it, during this Ashtama Shani period from 2017 November 2017 all the way till January or February of 2020, he's going through Ashtama Shani just like me, and if you look at it, his Saturn Mahadasa is running, and the Venus Antaradasa is running during this Ashtama Shani period. So let's wait till up to that Antaradasa period and see. So Venus, for him, the Venus is the house where natal moon is residing. That is the 7th house from Rashi Lagna, and Venus is also the 12th house lord. 7th and 12th house lord Venus. Where is natal Venus residing? Natal Venus is residing in the 3rd house from Rashi Lagna and 9th house from Chandra Lagna. Because of that Ashtama Shani, the Venus which is residing in the house owned by Saturn and transit Saturn, and Venus is being sandwiched between the natal Saturn and the transit Saturn. Remember, whenever any planet is sandwiched between two malefic planets, then the particular planet will have that bad impact. So since 2016 December 2016 December onwards, it's some sort of a problems might have initiated for this particular NATO, and those problems might have got amplified and became public once the Ashtama Shani started. And during the whole Ashtama Shani period, that problems will be it cannot be resolved. It just keeps on going. Now coming to this unique period, transit Jupiter for this particular NATO, Shah Rukh Khan, Jupiter is the 2nd house lord and the 4th house lord from Rashi Lagna, residing in the 5th house. That's the first thing. And from Chandra Lagna, Jupiter is the 8th house lord and 11th house lord, residing in the 12th house. So Jupiter is from Chandra Lagna, Jupiter is the 8th house lord residing in the 12th house. That's very important to keep in mind. And with this transit Jupiter entering the 8th house from Chandra Lagna in November 2019, what's happening is that since it is the 8th house lord residing in the 8th house and natal Jupiter is in the 12th house, there's a possibility, just like my chart, there's a possibility for some sort of unexpected expenditures or hospitalization, something, because 8th house also deals with secrets. Some secrets will be revealed, resulting into some sort of unexpected expenditures or possible hospitalization. This is because of transit Jupiter and co-joining with transit Saturn since 5th November onwards. Now go all the way till the last week of December, 23rd December all the way till 31st of December, those 7 or 8 days. First of all, let's go and see what's the Vimsottari Dasa. The Ketu Mahadasa is Pratyantara Dasa starts on 9th December. So the Venus Pratyantara Dasa, Sukshmantara Dasa, starts on 13th December, goes all the way till 24th December. So this crucial planetary combination is happening somewhere between 23rd or 24th of December, and Venus Sukshmantara Dasa is about to get completed on 24th December. So something pertaining to his personal life will be impacted either 23rd or 24th of December. And then comes the Sun Sukshmantara Dasa, those 4 days, 23, 24, 25, 26, those 4 days, Sun Sukshmantara Dasa will be coming. If you look at transit Sun during those days, it is in the 8th house. Like I said, from natal moon, transit Sun is the 4th house lord, which is the Sukhasthanadipati and home life environment, and residing in the 8th house. So, and co-joined with its bitter enemy Saturn and the 8th house lord Jupiter. So something pertaining to home, like chaos, in some sort of chaos in the home life environment is sure to happen because of this during the Sun Sukshmantara Dasa. And transit Rahu is already in the 2nd house from natal moon, looking at transit Sun, transit Jupiter and transit Saturn. So that will be leading to because second house deals with dhanasthanamu and kutumbasthanamu, and sun is the sukhasthanadipati or home life lord of the home life environment. The chaos or disturbances in the home life environment or in family for this particular native is sure to happen between 23rd of December to 27th of December. Now comes moon. The next one is moon. If you look at it on 25th or 26th of December, moon is still in the 8th house from natal. Moon is still co-joined with Saturn and Jupiter in the 8th house, Sagittarius. So whatever happened between 24th to 27th of December might create some sort of a mental anxiety or disturbances or stress for this particular native on from 27th December all the way till 2nd January. That's what it shows you. And now comes the most important thing here is Mars. Mars is the Laknadipati for this particular native and the sixth house lord. To first and sixth house lord Mars. Transit Mars will be in 12th house from Rashi Lagna for this particular native and sixth house from Chandra Lagna for this particular native. So 2nd January till 6th January is when deaths or illnesses might rise, resulting into, because 12th house is owned by Mars again, resulting into unexpected expenditures or hospitalization. The crucial part is when Rahu Sukshmantara Dasa comes into picture, which is on 6th January. Fortunately, by that time, Sun, if I remember correctly, Sun will be moving from the 8th house to the 9th house, where it co-joins with the natal sun. Transit Sun is going to co-join with natal Sun in the 9th house. So some sort of a relief is what the native can see after 6th January. So overall, for when you look at this chart and try to do something to predict for this particular unique planetary combinations, this is how you have to look at it. Look at the Mahadasa, and if that Mahadasa is residing in the 8th house from natal moon, then emphasize it, that planet first, and then the Pratyanta Antaradasa, then the Pratyantara Dasa, and the precise events to happen is only you can see it through Sukshmantara Dasa. For this particular native, the precise events will be from 23rd of December all the way till 6th of January. Let me wait and see what exactly might happen this particular native. I hope that the media will tell exactly what has happened and I can verify my predictions. Okay, now let me start analyzing another situation. This is the natal moon in Vrishchika or Scorpio. For a native, if the natal moon is in Scorpio, when transit Saturn is in Sagittarius, that means the native is going through the Sadesani, the third phase of Shadesani. Also, from natal moon, transit Saturn is in the second house, which is the Marakasthanamu too. So, natives whose natal moon is Scorpio, for them, this particular period is very crucial and very important. So, here is the chart of the US President Mr. Donald Trump. The inner circle is his chart and the outer circle is the chart of the country United States. So if you look at the inner circle for Mr. Trump, the moon is in Scorpio and the natal moon is getting a direct aspect from natal Rahu. So moon and Rahu are looking at each other for the whole life of this native. That's the first thing. Second thing, transit Rahu is in the what you call the 11th house for this particular native, or 8th house from natal moon is where transit Rahu is currently residing. And from moon, the second house is Sagittarius, and in Sagittarius, starting 5th November 2019, transit Saturn and transit Jupiter will be co-joining here, and also transit Ketu. All the three will be here starting 5th November 2019, and during that period between 23rd and December and 29th December, during those 6 to 7 days, in Sagittarius, transit Sun, transit Mercury, transit Saturn, transit Jupiter, and transit Moon. They all are going to be in Sagittarius, which is the second house from natal Moon, and the natal is going to the third phase of Sadeshani. So when you look at it at this time, when transit Rahu is in the 11th house, which is the Labasthanamo from the Rashi, and the 8th house from the moon Chandra Lagna, Rahu is in the 8th house, resulting into revealing of some secrets. I should say the secrets are something that is not normal in a routine normal life. So something will be revealed by this transit Rahu, because he is in 8th house from natal moon, with transit Saturn and the Jupiter, Mercury, Sun. The most important is Sun here, with transit Sun and transit Jupiter and transit Mercury, and are co-joining transit Saturn in the 5th house, in the second house from natal moon during the Christmas week, that is in December 2019. Whatever the secrecy that has getting revealed from transit Rahu residing in the 8th house from natal moon will get further amplified. So this is how for this particular native, the most important planets residing there behaves. Let's go and see if how the Vimshottari Dasa is reacting to this particular native during this period. Okay, now let's start looking at the same chart, and then compare with see what is the relationship with respect to the Vimsottari Dasa. If you look at this chart, the natal moon, from the natal moon, natal Rahu is almost like in the 7th house. That means they both are having a direct in aspect, between mutual direct aspect. So because Rahu is always having a direct aspect with moon, the native's mind is always looks for something that is gets an ideas, or behaves in some way that is usually is abnormal, or not being acceptable by the society. That is the native's mental mind behavior. Now with transit Rahu in the 8th house from natal moon, 7th and 8th house, yeah, with transit Rahu is in the 8th house from natal moon, co-joined with the second house lord Mercury being the communication and speech, and a transit Rahu becoming in the 8th house since March or April of 2019. Whatever the natal Rahu is creating the disturbances in the native's mind, is transit Rahu is converting that disturbances into some sort of a speech or communication skills, and expressing it out in the form of a speech or some sort of a communication. This is what the transit Rahu is doing. While transit Rahu is doing this, transit Saturn and transit Ketu are in Sagittarius. Thereby the transit Saturn is and transit Rahu together are afflicting Mercury, which is the second house lord, and also the 11th house lord, second and 11th house lord Mercury. It's afflicting the second and 7th house lord Mercury. And if you look at it, this Mercury is now sandwiched between natal Saturn and natal Rahu, that are the two malefics. So natal Mercury is sandwiched between natal Rahu and natal Saturn. As if that is not sufficient, transit Rahu is co-joined with natal Mercury, and transit Saturn is having a direct aspect on natal Mercury. Because of these unique combinations, Mercury, which represents speech and communications is what is creating will create the speech or communications that the native has, which is usually not in the normal sense that is acceptable in a society. Now this is what the transit Rahu is doing. And then comes the point is the Sagittarius, which all the five important planets: transit Sun, transit Mercury, transit Saturn, transit Jupiter, and transit Moon are all going to be in Sagittarius on 23rd, from between 23rd and 27th of December 2019. Let's go and look at what's the Vimsottari Dasa for this particular native. First of all, uh, second house Jupiter is the second house lord from natal moon, and here it is running is the Jupiter Mahadasa is running. So let's go and look at natal Jupiter. For this particular natal Jupiter is in the second house from Rashi Lagna, okay, and is the 1 2 3 2 3 4 5th 6 7 8 and 8th house lord is also natal Jupiter. So the natal Jupiter is the 8th house lord from Rashi Lagna, residing in the second house from Rashi Lagna. Transit Jupiter is in the second house from Chandra Lagna. So the natal Jupiter is in the second house from Rashi Lagna. Transit Jupiter is in the second house from Chandra Lagna. So whatever the native's mind is and the native's destiny has been now matched up, and the most important thing planet that is making it happen is Jupiter. And Jupiter, it's a Jupiter Mahadasa that is running. So second house is Dhanasthanamo and Kutumbasthanamo. So some sort of a disturbances pertaining to Dhanamo is finances, and Kutumbasthanamo is family or family members or family matters. Then after Jupiter Mahadasa is the Jupiter Antardasa, Saturn Antardasa, and Moon Pratyantara Dasa. Moon Pratyantara Dasa starts from 4th November and goes all the way till 18th January 2020. So during this crucial period when transit Jupiter and transit Saturn co-join on 5th November, what you see here is Jupiter Mahadasa, Saturn Antardasa, and Moon Pratyantara Dasa. This is a very, very crucial period for this particular native, exclusively from November 4th till January 18th. And then comes about what's the speciality of this Vimsottari Dasa. As I said, the native is going to the Shadeshani, is in the third phase of Shadeshani, and Jupiter Mahadasa is running, Saturn Antardasa is running, and Saturn Moon Pratyantara Dasa is running. And while these things are going on, let's go and look at the Sukshmantara Dasa. From November 4th till November 10th is the Moon Sukshmantara Dasa. That's when the native's mind will be highly irritated. Mind will be so irritated that because the moon is got afflicted by natal Rahu and transit Rahu, and the moon is having a direct aspect on Mercury, the planet that corresponds to speech and communication. This irritated mind will result in some sort of a communication distortions. And then comes Mars. Mars is fine for this particular native, so we don't need to worry. Then the most important thing is Rahu. Rahu's Sukshmantara starts in 15th November and goes till 26th November. And I have already told you what is transit Rahu doing and natal Rahu is doing. And then the Jupiter is from November 26th till December 6th. Jupiter is the 8th house lord. Okay, fine. Then Saturn is from now December 6th till December 18th. Up to that point is also fine. The next crucial part is Mercury. Sukshmantara Dasa starting on 18th December and ending in 28th December. That's exact. This is the period. Jupiter Mahadasa, Saturn Antardasa, Moon Pratyantara Dasa, and Mercury Sukshmantara Dasa. This is the period exactly when all these planets, Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Moon, and Ketu, all these transit planets are going to be in Sagittarius, which is the second house from natal Moon. And this is the period where the things goes wrong exclusively because of Mercury. It will be some sort of a speech or communication, and with Rahu's with natal Rahu co-joining with transit Rahu, and transit Mercury is having a what you call direct aspect on it, transit Rahu too, that speech and communication skills gets worsened. And also if you look at it, the transit moon is also going to be in Sagittarius during that 4 days or 5 days of time somewhere. So it makes the native's brain gets more and more irritated, and that irritation converts into some sort of a speech or communication, some sort of a communications which will be abnormal or something that is not acceptable by the society.